What's going on, everybody? It's your boys up with No Days Off DFS, here to bring you that NBA slate breakdown for the 7-gamer we got today over here on DraftKings. Yesterday, took a break, be honest. 4-game slate was a small slate, so it was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna just enjoy the games a little bit, whatnot. I'm not gonna not gonna force it. You know, I had a bad loss on Friday. Like, that was just complete dog shit. The value did not pan out for me. Didn't matter what stud I had in my line. It was just watching. I was like, you know what? I know I normally say it's no days off, but hey, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna reset for a minute. And of course, NFL Sunday. Why not? When everybody's focused on the NFL, I'm gonna focus on the NBA like I always do. So with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's get it. Let's go. Now, there was one more thing I did have to address. If you have any suggestions for the name of this video, for the series pretty much, because this is what I've done dating back to WNBA season. I changed the title to How to Win the Top Prize that they offer us over here on DraftKings. Today is going to be for 50K. How to Win 50K. That is the name of the title. How to Win 100K. That's the name of the title of the videos. It's that name because, hey, you're going to want to click it if it says How to Win XYZ. I'm giving you information in regards to DVP matchups, trends that a player are going on, what positions to actually focus on to, and all those things like that. That is why I say how to win, because you do have a chance to win if any of the information that I'm giving you is going to help you possibly get that right there. So if you take offense to the title, I'm sorry, y'all. If you feel like it's clickbait, I'm sorry. Give me another title and I'll see. I'll run with it. But since I changed the name to that title, I ain't gonna lie. Viewership has been much better. More subscribers and stuff come to the channel, and people have actually enjoyed what I've been putting out. I'm gonna keep on doing that. With that being said, though, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the sauce and stuff your boy drops over here on the channel. And drop a like on this video if this video or any of my other videos, content, something else that I put out over here helps you guys win some money. All right, so we got a couple teams on the back-to-back. Charlotte Hornets, Atlanta Hawks being one of them, Orlando Magic being another one, the Clippers being another one as well. And I believe that's actually going to be it for the players that are playing on today. For the Charlotte Hornets, I would imagine that we should get some news probably noonish, afternoon time, about LaMelo Ball. We know he's coming back from injury. I would be surprised if he actually plays on this back-to-back. Same thing for Brandon Miller, who was back yesterday as well. Kyle Brenner, he left the game yesterday with an injury, and then we saw DB take it to start for him in the second half. I wasn't sure if they just held him out because they were on the front end of a back-to-back, so we will have to pay attention to the Charlotte Hornet news over here. For the Atlanta Hawks side of things, Kristaps Porzingis, typically he hasn't played back-to-back, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be ruled out and they give us back Onyeka Okongwu today. So definitely we're going to have to keep our eyes on that for that first game right there for them. Orlando Magic taking on Boston. Jalen Suggs typically does not play in back-to-back, so I wouldn't be surprised if Suggs is going to be out, and we're going to get Anthony Black back into the starting lineup. For the Boston Celtics, nothing to worry about right there. For the Los Angeles Clippers, the biggest thing for them is the fact that Kawhi Leonard is expected to play. He's expected to play today. For the Cleveland Cavaliers side of things, they're going to be without Lonzo Ball, without Jared Allen, without Sam Morrell, without Craig Porter Jr., and without Max Strus. For the Brooklyn Shitters, taking on the Toronto Raptors, everything over here, nothing to worry about. Cam Thomas, he's still out. On the Toronto Raptors side of things, CMB, he's questionable to play. Jakob Poeltl, he's already been ruled out, so we will get Mama for High Luke in the starting lineup, or which they have done it before, they moved Scotty Barnes and played him at the center spot as well. My OKC Thunder taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. Donovan Clingan is questionable to play. Other than that, they're still without Drew Holiday, Shaedon Sharpe, Ty Bulls, Scoot Henderson. All those guys are out for them. And then for my OKC Thunder, we are still without Aaron Wiggins and Kendrick Williams, and J-Dub is still out as well over here for them. San Antonio Spurs taking on the actually, is this game on the main one? San Antonio. Yep. Okay. San Antonio Spurs taking on the Phoenix Sun over here for them. Ryan Dunn is questionable to play. Grayson Allen, he is still out over here for San Antonio Spurs. Still without Wemby, still without Castle, still without Harper. For the Los Angeles Lakers taking on Utah, LeBron James made his debut earlier this week. Well, technically last week now. So he's still, fully there. 30 minutes in his first game. So doesn't seem like there's a true minute limit or anything for Bron. So that's, I guess, good-ish for them. And then for the Utah Jazz, they're just without George Niang. All right. Heading on over to DraftKings, the site your boy plays the most on the site. If you don't have an account and you want one, check the link down in the description box below so you guys get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the King. For the Charlotte Hornets taking on Atlanta, I got to know about this Lonzo Ball news, Brandon Miller, whether or not if we're going to get a Knipple, if Trey Mann is back. So it's a lot of injury news going on over here that we do need to know for anything truly. If LaMelo Ball is out, then of course we'll be shifting towards players like Miles Bridges. We'll be shifting towards Colin Sexton, who should possibly get the start right there. Then if Kyle Burner is out, then Diabite will be in play as well over here. Pretty short, simple, and straight to the point for the Charlotte Hornets. Same thing for the Atlanta Hawks. If Porzingis is out, if for a rest or whatever, like normal, then of course Okongwu, if he's in, then he's a much enticing better play. If he's going to be playing off the bench, I am not paying $7,500 for Onyeka Okongwu. No, not happening. With that being said as well, Jalen Johnson, of course, a boost, no Porzingis, more rebounds, almost triple-double last night in what was a game that he shouldn't have been out there playing late into the fourth quarter anyway versus the Pelicans. So definitely do not mind Jalen Johnson. Nice payout option as a stud over here. We've seen it, the Charlotte Hornets. If you saw last night what James Harden did, and that's what's going to really give me a lot of interest in looking at players like Dyson Daniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And Nickeil coming off of a pretty shitty shooting night, to be honest. Really couldn't find the shot. 4 of 11 from the field. Kind of got it going towards the end of the game. I do think this is a really great bounce back position spot, especially for someone that shoots the 3-ball at a high clip. And I know he can bring it on the defensive side as well. I don't mind the upside. 6,700 is a pretty good one for him. Dyson Daniels, he had his good game yesterday. Let's rotate. Let's look at Nickeil Alexander-Walker tonight. I do love the upside for what he could possibly bring to us on this side of the court. Outside of that, if Porzingis is out, Okongwu starting, then of course Guy is going to be someone that we're going to want to probably look to. Minutes, upside, all those things. Again, he got those minutes yesterday because no Onyeka Okongwu for him to go out there and play. So upside, that was there for Guy right there. Other than that, not really going to force anything else over here unless we get some weird random news of someone else sitting or some resting or stuff like that. We're not really looking towards Luke Kennard or the Vic Krejcis or anything like that. Other players have been missing, but the main one I think that will be missing will be Porzingis. For the Brooklyn Shitters taking on the Toronto Raptors, we've already seen this game before, and I've said it time and time again, man. Michael Porter Jr., he's leading this team in the usage, everything, all the good stuff that he goes ahead and that he does over here for him. But Nick Claxton, really got to hope that he's ooh, my camera messed up for a second. All right, Nick Claxton though, love the upside, loves position, and he's already cooked the Toronto Raptors once earlier this season for 44 fantasy points. This is still a really great DVP metric matchup for him, going into this exact same matchup, points in the paint, things like that. And then of course you're dealing with High Luke over here. I don't mind it. Michael Porter Jr., of course, you're gonna be dealing with that defensive defense from Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram. All the main guys are gonna be trying to flock in regards to defense on him. He's on a heater right now. GPP option for me because I know a lot of it does come from him being able to get those points and whatever he can do in regards to rebounding, because that has been a really big part of his game. But I really don't like that price. At 8,100, I do think there's some better options that we can get to instead of that right there. Now, the third one over here that we typically do go to will be Noah Clowney. Clowney, I don't mind the spot. He's been playing pretty well in that starting lineup. Again, a big thing for him, he does have to knock down those 3-point shots. 4,500 is not a bad price tag to play for Clowney. I don't think so. It does leave us with some upside, but understand it could be another floor game for him. Versus the Raptors, though, he did have 39.5 fantasy points in that game, and that did come from some really great defensive stats and a couple of more peripherals as well. So definitely realm of possibility. He can go out there and get us a floor game, or it could be a repeat ceiling game. I'm going to lean somewhere in the middle over here for Clowney on that one. Outside of that, if the men is going to be ruled out, then we're going to get Martin hopefully back inside the starting lineup. Martin not having to split the minutes with Igor over there, then I said a man, I'm so sorry. With Igor, then I would like Martin as a potential play option in regards to value. And then Terrence Mann should see some more ball handling duties as well. And I wouldn't mind either one of those guys. Over here to the Toronto Raptors side of things. I mean, with Jakob not being out there, Savima High-Luke, he is going to be what I would consider a good value option that we could potentially look to on today. Didn't play in that first game versus Brooklyn, so definitely 3,400. I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be highly honed. It still is the Brooklyn Nets. Still, of course, you typically do see us play centers going up against them. Jakob in his matchup versus them dropped 35 fantasy points. If he can go out here and has it working in regards to his scoring involved in that aspect, definitely it could be a pretty decent game for him. But of course, the main guys we're going to focus on is going to be those top 3 guys, which is going to be Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, and of course, RJ Barrett. The main trio that we want to focus to over here. Scotty, no, y'all can pull out there more rebounds to be able to get for him. Then, of course, those rebounds typically lead to those assists. 8,300, a nice fine price tag to want to pay for Scotty Barnes. And then he just dropped 40.75 on the Brooklyn Nets last time you played them. Brandon Ingram had a great game as well. Iman quickly had a great game as well. The only one that didn't have a good game was RJ Barrett. Now, I can see him being a GPP option right here. Don't hate it at all. Definitely does have the matchup. Out there at the small forward spot, I mean, we just saw Jaylen Brown back-to-back 40 burgers going up against him. Keyshawn George, 44 fantasy points versus him. Tristan Da Silva, 37 fantasy points. So if, depending on whoever's actually at the small forward spot, if it's going to be RJ Barrett, if it's going to be Brandon Ingram, I don't mind either one of those guys. Interchangeable right there. But it's not bad. Just go right there into the middle to Iman quickly, who has shown us he's scoring. Of course, he's going to facilitate, even though it's him and Scotty that are facilitating over here. But then, of course, what he can bring us on the defensive side, I like it. The upside is going to be there for him. Definitely will be a play that I would be looking to and have my player pool. Other than that, if CMB is going to be in, then, of course, he's going to absorb those backup center minutes. And so I definitely don't mind for him as a potential option. And then Shaheed would definitely be another option we can go to. All right, moving on to the next game. Orlando Magic back for them going up against the Boston Celtics. I definitely don't mind Anthony Black if he's going to get the start for Suggs. Definitely do think this would be an okay spot. If Suggs is going to be held out going up against him, then definitely the value that we can get for Black, 4,900, it just makes sense. He's already playing a good chunk of minutes as well. And more ball handler responsibility duties. His defense has been pretty great. He's not afraid to go out there and shoot. So the upside could be pretty well for him. If we're not going to go with Anthony Black, then of course, I have liked to attack them with opposing centers. Wendell Carter Jr. only 22 minutes yesterday. He fouled out the game. That's going to be the only things that keep Wendell Carter Jr. from being on the court. Probably going to be the freshest one out of everybody going into this matchup just because he didn't have to play his full allotment of minutes. I like the upside. I like the spot. I don't mind going to him. He had 29.2 and 22 fantasy points in his 2 games versus them. Definitely some upside for him if we do decide to go right there. Tristan Da Silva, shitty shooting night. Didn't shoot the ball well at all. 5,100, another value option that we can get to over here. Desmond Bane, France. If the 3 ball is falling for both these guys, if they're out there able to continue the heater that they just had yesterday going up against New York Knickerbockers, this is definitely going to be an okay spot to go to either one of these guys on the day. France last time going up against Boston Celtics, 40 burgers, both games going up against them. Desmond Bane, he had a great game the first game, shitty game the second game. So it's a mixing pot in regards to what we're getting with him, especially because we do know, Paulo is not here. More usage to go around for France, for Bane, things like that. Now, I will say, since it is the back end of back-to-back, maybe we can come down here and look towards players like Jonathan Isaac, who's seen his minutes starting to go up a little bit with no Paulo being out there. I don't mind looking towards him. Maybe this could be where they dust off some Jet Howard, or we could see Tyus Jones, who that was another offseason pickup that they got, that maybe we can see some more minutes for him, especially if Suggs is going to be out. Not saying by any means that these are main players that we have to get to, but definitely some players that we should keep on our radar as a potential options that we can get to. Honestly, no one truly sticks out over there for me for Orlando, except for Wendell Carter Jr. being like an actual play that I will want to get to over there. Outside of that, Anthony Black, that's really just it. I don't see anyone as like a main. I have to play Orlando. On the Boston Celtics side of things, Jaylen Brown is Jaylen Brown. Leads over here for the usage for them. Going up against Orlando when he did play versus them. Earlier, he had 48 and 37 fantasy points. 8,600 seems like this is going to be the tweener spot for him. It's an okay option if you're trying to get to a mid-tier stud that has some upside for you, but there's some other options we can get to. Derek White seemed to have cooled off over his last couple games, especially after dropping some pretty good numbers, especially from the scoring department and the peripherals. 7,400, not a bad option. Definitely does have the matchup. We just saw Harden, Curry, and Brunson all have great games going up against them. So definitely don't mind if we think Derek White back at the crib can get the shot to fall. If Derek White doesn't have the shot fall, and then of course the defensive stats to go with it and the assists, then Peyton Pritchard is right in line. That would be the other one I would want to look to. Either one of these two guys would definitely be someone that we should consider. And then of course off of the bench, Anthony freaking Simon. 19.5 fantasy points in the first game versus Orlando, 32.2 fantasy points in the second game versus Orlando. It's a mixing pot in regards to what we're getting from him because he has to score. It has to be some good scoring, especially for him to see the extended role in regards to the minutes. Definitely going to have him on the radar as a potential option in a play that we can go to. And then depending on whoever they start at that power forward spot, if it's going to be Walsh, if it's going to be not Quetta, if it's going to be Minot, that's another cheap value option you could possibly get to over here. But really, it's going to be Anthony Simons will be the main one that I want to look to over here for them. Real quick, if you guys haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that. Supports the channel. It's free. Definitely helps out your boy. And then drop a like in the video to help us go ahead and continue to get out there to more people. Thank you for all the support that I've got, man. You guys have been great, honestly, throughout the season. And we're going to keep on riding, man. For the Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, I have nobody, and I mean truly nobody that I want to get to. VJ Edgecombe just got ruled out for the 76ers, but luckily that is going to be the first game of the slate, the noon game, so don't have to worry about that. Now, for the Clippers, nobody truly interests me, especially with Kawhi actually coming back and playing. James Harden, price is way too high, 10-3. I'm not paying that. I know Cleveland is not like this world beater in regards to defense, but with another player that has such a high usage coming in, and he's at 8,700. Honestly, the price for Kawhi and the price for LeBron James is stupid, and especially for players coming back from injury, their role that I don't see any reason for the price. I don't like anybody over from the Clippers, and it's not just because they're on the back end of a back-to-back. It's just simply the prices. They need to adjust in regards to the fact that Kawhi is going to be back, and we have to just see what they're going to look like with him being out there. Now, on the Cleveland Cavaliers side of things, I know I really feel like I want to swear not playing this guy. But it's kind of hard to ignore Evan Mobley at 8K going up against Zubac and his ability to stretch the floor and be more athletic than what Big Zoo is. And Zoo coming off the back-to-back. Very hard to ignore that. I like the upside for Evan Mobley. Double-double upside here in the spot. As long as he stays out of foul trouble, out there having to deal with Zubac, I don't mind it for the potential upside. I like it. It's not a bad position spot if he can go ahead and be out there and playing. We have seen opposing centers like Kristaps Porzingis, 36 fantasy points. The Joker, 86. Daniel Gafford, 28. Quetta, 33 fantasy points. Andre the Drum Dog, 40 fantasy points. Evan Mobley, he's on my radar. He's on my list as a potential option to play. With Darius Garland being back, 6,200. He's playing the minutes. I don't know what's going to happen with the toe. Maybe he might stub his toe and then he's gone. So if you want to take a chance on it, opposing guards have actually cooked as long as they stay out of foul trouble, out there trying to guard James Harden. Suggs have 46. Tyrese Maxey have 53. Peyton Pritchard have 40. It's a GPP option for me just because of his injury history. That's my only issue that I truly have with looking at Darius Garland. Donovan Mitchell, 9,500. It's a bit rich for me to get up there to that. I don't see that, especially with like Luka, Shea, Denny Avnia, Lauri Markkanen, Keyshawn George, other players on the slate that I can get to instead of playing Donovan Mitchell. GPP pick would be what I would be looking to right there. And then Tyson. I know he's probably not getting a start, but I like him as a potential play off the bench, especially with no Sam Morril, no Lonzo Ball, no Max Strus. He should still see some decent minutes over here that I do like for his upside. For the Portland Trailblazers taking on my OKC Thunder, Denny Avdia at the point guard spot. I actually like it for the upside that he could bring, especially just for the assist that he gets. We know he's going to go out there and score. We know he can rebound the ball pretty well. Technically, big guard going up against big guard is the way I see it because Shea is a big guard out there. Of course, he's going to have his hands full out there trying to guard Shea. Just got to hope that he can keep himself out of foul trouble. I think the upside, though, is going to go towards Jeremy Grant being in that starting lineup. Didn't have a really great game going up against Golden State Warriors, 31 points, 31 minutes, but only 5 actual points, 0 of 8 from the field. Going up against the OKC Thunder off the bench, he had 36.2 fantasy points in that game. The weakest spot that we do have is going to be our forwards because we're kind of running like a tweener 3-guard lineup out there. You got Shea, Kaysen, and then Lou Dort. It's small in regards to what you actually have because we don't have Dub out there quite yet. So I do like the upside for Jeremy Grant in this spot. Definitely think this is an okay position. Him and Kamara would be the main 2 guys I want to get to over here. Denny Avdia, 9,300, makes him for a GPP pivot that you can get to over here. But Jeremy Grant, I really, really do like the upside. Opposing power forwards. I mean, we just saw Lauri Markkanen before they shut him down in the second half. 35 fantasy points. Precious Achiuwa. Precious Achiuwa. Let me say it one more time for y'all. Precious Achiuwa. 32 fantasy points. Derek Queen. This was, I want to say they had like Looney or Messi starting at center. Derek Queen went out there. He had 29 fantasy points versus us. So not a bad spot. I like the price tag. Definitely leaves us some room for some upside. Jeremy Grant definitely be someone I would keep on my radar. And then, of course, Kamara. If clinging is going to be ruled out, then going to be interesting to see what they do at the center spot. I really don't know. I really truly do not know, but it's some room for possibilities. Now, if you think this game could possibly be a blowout or a wash, then definitely we're going to be looking towards our guy, Caleb Love. He's coming on as of late. He's playing a ton more minutes, and he's looking very, very comfortable out there. And he's actually a really great player. 3,800, definitely be a value option that I wouldn't mind taking a stab at over there. For the Thunder side of things, of course, we know it's going to be Shea. We know we're looking at Hartenstein. We know we're looking at Chet. All 3 of these guys are going to be in play that we can get to. If I got to say, to me, Chet did not play in the game going up against Portland the first time when we actually had our loss. So I don't mind looking towards him at the 7,800 price tag. He does play pretty well at home as well. Definitely do not mind him, especially if the game can stay close enough for him to be able to go out there and just do enough. Shea is Shea, 11K. I mean, it should pivot off of Luka and James Harden and whatnot. But Chet, I like the upside for him. Outside of that, Isaiah Hartenstein, depending on who they actually have rolling out there at center, this could be a spot where Hartenstein could just smash and do what he's done time and time again. Versus Portland in that first game, he had 31 fantasy points in 31 minutes. A double-double right there. Definitely can see that. He's been more aggressive on the offensive side of the ball this season. 6,800 is not a bad price, especially for the upside that we can actually get from iHeart. I definitely do not mind that at all. AJ Mitchell, pricing has come down just a little bit more. He's, of course, back playing off the bench. The usage is still high for him, but the price, I needed to come back down below 6K, especially for a bench player, for me to really have feel comfortable going and playing to him. Lou Dort would be your GPP option. Same thing with Isaiah Joe, because we know we need them to knock down their 3-ball. And Queso, he's fine. He's there, but not anything that I'll ever feel like you have to play on a slate at all whatsoever. Like, I never feel like yo, we got to play Queso. Queso was in play. Going on over to the Los Angeles Fakers, taking on the Utah Jazz. This should be a good game. Like, I actually generally think this should be a good game. It's not like the Lakers are some crazy lockdown defense. And then, of course, the Utah Jazz, they are not a bad team, at least in my eyes, whenever I watch them play. Main plays, of course, even though LeBron James is back, Luka Doncic, all the usage, everything. Yes, James is out there, but when I watched that game, it looked like he's just trying to fit in. Like, he's not trying to change up what they were doing already out there. Like, he's just an auxiliary piece. And we already know LeBron's not bought into what the hell the Lakers are doing this season. He knows that they don't have a cold chance in hell to make it anywhere out there in the West. You know, he's just along for the ride. He's getting paid pretty much to be out there. So Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, I don't mind going back to either one of those guys right there. I will not pay $9,100 for LeBron James, even though he's going to play 30 minutes, 35 minutes, depending on how close this game is going to be. I don't give two shits. I'm not paying that for LeBron. I'm not. That's way too much. I will come down here to Austin Reeves, who's going to still shoot his shots, who's still going to be able to make those shots. The only thing that looks like took a hit for him was his assist. But I do think this is a spot where he can be able to bounce back and get that here. Especially if this game was to get out of hand, Brown's going to be one of the first ones to be pulled. AR in that game going up against Utah last time. First game back with Brown, man. He still played 33 minutes. I don't hate it. So definitely going right there. DeAndre Ayton, someone else that we could potentially look to, had a great double-double. Even with Bron being back out there, it's like it just opens up the floor even more for him. 6,800, not a bad spot. I definitely feel like we can go there. If we think the game could possibly be a wash or something, Vegas does not right now. Jake LaRavia would be someone else to look to. Rui Hachimura could be someone else. But again, with LeBron James being back, I really don't feel too comfortable going to those right there. On the Utah Jazz side of things, we already know it's Lauri Markkanen, it's Keyshawn George. Yusuf Nurkic didn't look bad out there versus the Lakers, so I definitely don't mind him for the upside. The thing that keeps Nurk in play is the fact that he can actually stuff the stat sheet from all categories. His assist, his rebounding, all those things, and I don't mind clicking on that name as a potential option for us to look to. But really, it's going to be Lauri Markkanen will be one of the main options that I want to get to. And then Keyshawn George, man, just his ability to go out there and score, but also play make at the same time, it's been pretty great to actually see. Just as long as he's efficient, it's not a bad day. Ace Bailey, a little bit of a tougher matchup for him, 4,900. If the game was to get blown out or something like that, we could see some more upside for him. But I just don't feel like this is one of those games I don't want to get to. It's really just going to be Lauri and Keyshawn be the main two options, and then you can look towards Nurk as another one potential option you can get to. All right, last game in the slate, San Antonio Spurs taking on the Phoenix Suns. Spurs, of course, still without Wemby and all that good stuff. And we talked about it. We said it, man. That dude Champagnie, he's going to bounce back, and he did in a major way. And I think we possibly can go right back to him here again. 5,100, not a bad price hike for him at all. I can go right back to this position and spot. I will say Luke Cornett, even though he's starting, he's not doing anything, and I just don't understand it at all. Instead, we're really seeing Keldon Johnson coming in and demolishing in his time in minutes that he's out there. Sochan, where you at, Sochan? Sochan, he's playing really great in his time out there. I would rather play these players over playing a Luke Cornett on the day. And then same thing for Kelly Olynyk. He's out there. He's only played 13 minutes last time, but still a great fantasy point per minute producer when he's out there on the court. Better than what we're getting from Luke Cornett. I'd rather look to those guys over there instead of looking at the Luke Cornett on the day. De'Aaron Fox, 9,400, rightfully so. The scoring, the playmaking, the defense that he does have, all three of those things play right there into his favor. I don't mind looking towards De'Aaron Fox. 9,400, a little bit rich though, I will admit, but definitely something that we have on the radar. Now, if we're looking for some value though, over here for the guards, for the Spurs, then Vassell. I like the upside. I like the spot for him. I don't think it's a bad one. If Cooper Flack can go out here and drop 42 fantasy points going up against the Phoenix Suns, I definitely do think that Vassell could be in the same trajectory in regards to that. And then last but not least, looking at the Phoenix Suns over here on their side of things, of course, Devin Booker, I don't have to talk to you about that. But Colin Gillespie, man, this kid off the bench is freaking amazing. 5,800. He's playing some really great minutes. No Grayson Allen. I just feel like that just bumps him up for what we're actually seeing from him. A great three-point shooter. No Wemby out there on the perimeter to be able to block anyone's three-point shots or anything like that. I love the upside for him. 5,800. I'll take it. I definitely do not mind it. Outside of that, you can take a stab at Mark Williams, since of course he's not going to be out there dealing with Wemby, but it's a mixing pot in regards to what we're getting from Mark, and I myself don't feel like I'm going to be there to find that out. Dylan Brooks, really great uses over here for them. He's been pretty consistent. If you land on that, it's not the end of the world if you do land it, but I will say I'd rather play Vassell instead of playing Dylan Brooks if I had to choose over there for that. Then, of course, my boy Goodwin, he's still getting his minutes. He's still getting his burn and shine, and he's still giving us some really great value. If you can't get up to Colin Gillespie, then definitely Goodwin is going to be your next best pivot to drop down to and get down there to him. Igor, I don't know why, but he's playing some pretty solid minutes. Another deep GPP option you can get to, but really it's going to be Goodwin, Gillespie with the main two guys you want to get to off the bench. Then, of course, Devin Booker, I don't have to talk to you too much about that. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Good luck to everybody on today's NFL slate. Let's not forget about the NBA, man. It's still some pretty great games going on for today. Hopefully you guys do cash out. You take something down. Let me know down in the comments section what you guys thought of the video. With that being said, it's your boy Zoe. Peace.